Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we're looking at a question that I know you've all been dying to answer. What superheroes would die if they drank bleach? Profound, isn't it? If ingested, bleach can cause severe damage to the esophagus and stomach, potentially leading to death. So in this hypothetical scenario, we're taking a look at the superheroes who don't quite have a stomach of steel capable of doing the whole bleach thing. This means superheroes with invulnerability to toxins, or superheroes capable of manipulating matter, so the bleach they consume would be less hazardous, would not be affected by drinking bleach. This isn't to say that none of the heroes on this list aren't impressive. They're just pretty susceptible to poison, specifically bleach in this case. So with that in mind, let's jump into our list of the top 10 superheroes who would die if they drank bleach. In at number 10 is Iron Man. Tony Stark is an incredibly impressive man, even without the suit on. But that's it, isn't it? He's a man, a human. While one can argue that Tony would be able to create the necessary antidote or tech to remove or prevent the effects of bleach and what they would do to his body, if he drank it willingly without any precautions in place, well, he'd likely end up dead. And at number 9 is Squirrel Girl. In recent years, fans have been declaring how underrated and awesome Squirrel Girl is, and I agree. She's been privy to some excellent writing that's really helped shape the character into a heroine that many adore, and she's pulled off some pretty spectacular feats, like beating up Wolverine and chilling with Galactus. But one thing she can't do, well, drink bleach. And at number 8 is Spider-Man. One of the reasons why Spider-Man is so beloved is because of how relatable he is. But Peter Parker's humanity isn't the only thing we can identify with. He's also very much human, a regular kid, sort of, who also just so happens to not have invulnerability under his list of abilities. One can argue that his body may be able to metabolize bleach due to how his body reacted to the radiation from the spider bite that gave him his powers in the first place, and how in other storylines like Spider-Man Reign, his body fluids have become radioactive, aka his semen gave MJ cancer. But that's for another video. But this all seems pretty unlikely if he consumed a large concentration of bleach. Fact is, he would likely die. And at number 7 is Robin. While there's multiple men who have taken up the mantle of Robin and would likely succumb to the effects of bleach, for the purpose of this list, we're only going to take a look at one of them, Damian Wayne, which also kind of seems like the cruelest one to look at in terms of what this list is about, but whatever. 100% would die if drank bleach. He also doesn't have the experience that his predecessors have gained in terms of endurance, so if you put all of the Robins past and present into a room together and force them to drink bleach, my money's on Damian going down first. So bleak. And at number 6 is Batgirl. Barbara Gordon is a mortal woman capable of extraordinary feats. She's incredibly intelligent, kicks some serious butt, and has grown to be a major fan favorite when it comes to female superheroes, especially resonating with younger demographics, which is pretty darn cool. And we've seen that regardless of all the extraordinary things she can do, Barbara is still human. For example, in The Killing Joke, she's brutally maimed and paralyzed. It's more than just rough. And while she manages to recover and rehabilitate herself, eventually learning to walk again by the time the New 52 and Gail Simone's run with her occurred, she's still vulnerable to the same weaknesses that humans have, like toxins, and chemicals, and bleach. Up next, number 5 is Night Owl 1 and 2. Both Night Owls and Watchmen are pretty much just regular dudes. Both move on to live regular lives after their careers in caped crusading. It's part of what makes both characters so fascinating, with one dealing with the nostalgia and trauma of the past, and the other trying to live up to the superior man, Dr. Manhattan, all while discovering that what he is a perfectly acceptable version of manhood. So yeah, both would totally die if they drank bleach. Moving on. And at number 4 is Storm. Storm has survived through a lot. While she may not have a massive arsenal of abilities, what Storm can do via her weather manipulation powers has proven not only useful, but quite powerful since she was introduced during Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975, to the point of many considering her to be one of the most powerful mutants on Earth. She's even shown on occasion her ability to manipulate interstellar and intergalactic media. But despite all of this, I'm sure you guys know where this is going by now, while she could likely endure a small dose of bleach, the chemicals would surely erode her insides if she drank a significant amount of it. And at number 3 is Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones' recent influx in popularity comes from the hit Netflix show based on the character, which deviates quite a bit from the character's narratives in the comics. But hey, I'm a big fan, so definitely not complaining here. Both are great. But the two aren't all that different when it comes to bleach. Ah yes, look at that, bleach bringing us all together. Jessica is capable of superhuman strength, endurance, and flight, which is pretty much consistent with the show. Meaning, despite the Netflix version of her being an impressively enduring alcoholic, her body lacks the invulnerability to withstand or metabolize the kinds of chemicals found in bleach. She'd likely be able to consume a small amount and live, but a whole glass of it? Tough chance. Luke Cage, on the other hand, that would be an interesting question. I don't know, what do you guys think? Could Luke Cage stomach bleach? Let us know in those comments below. In at number 2 is Charles Xavier. One of the most powerful telepaths in the Marvel Universe, Charles Xavier has many tricks in that cranium of his. Mind control, memory manipulation, psychic attack capabilities, the list goes on. Perhaps his genius level intellect would enable him to detect that he was consuming bleach if someone tried to poison him. That or, mind reading abilities. Dead giveaway there. Or perhaps he could astral project out of his body if he was poisoned severely enough, potentially saving his life. But the fact of the matter is, his body would still succumb to damage and potentially death if he knowingly drank bleach.
I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs.
And finally, in our number 1 spot is Batman. Batman is the kind of hero who would most definitely be able to stomach damage from consuming a small amount of bleach. He's got a pain threshold that could endure what a normal mortal couldn't even imagine. That being said, he's still mortal, and a significant amount of bleach would obliterate his esophagus and stomach and surely result in death. Although Batman does have 2 advantages here. Knowing him, he'd be able to avoid being poisoned by bleach, and would likely detect it, either via his own sharpened senses or by the tech he's got in his batsuit. And if he had the foresight that he was going to have to consume bleach, well, you bet he'd either craft a device to distill it, or create some sort of antidote capable of removing all of the chemicals in bleach when it entered his body. But as with everyone else, if he drank it willingly, well, no more Batman. There we have it, friends. A little arbitrary, but hey, this was a list about bleach. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys dug this video and want a part 2, or perhaps a list of superheroes who can drink bleach, let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you dug this video, show us some love and hit those like and subscribe buttons. And why not check out our most popular uploads playlist if you'd like to stick around some more. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally and this has been Top 10 Nerd. I'll catch you all in the next one.